Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's just jump right in. Today we're diving into a book review about someone, well, truly monumental, a figure whose ideas are still making waves all around the world. But before we get into the details, I want to start with a question for you. Think about it. What gives someone's words the power to inspire millions, even a whole century later? I mean, how does that happen? Just keep that thought in the back of your mind as we explore this. So the person at the heart of this review is Swami Vivekananda. You probably know him as one of India's most profound spiritual leaders. But he was so much more, a monk, a philosopher, a teacher, and his ideas, they didn't just stay in India. Nope, they literally echoed across the entire globe. Okay, let's focus on one year, 1893. This was a game changer. This is the year Swami Vivekananda steps onto a world stage, the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. And for the very first time, he introduces his philosophy to the West. And believe me, they were captivated. It was an absolutely pivotal moment. But here's the thing the book review really hammers home. To get the power of his message, you have to understand the man himself, his journey. It wasn't just about the words he spoke. It was the life he lived behind those words that gave them so much weight. And what a transformation it was. I mean, he started out as Narendranath Datta, just this incredibly curious young guy, full of these huge questions about life and spirituality. Then, bam, that defining moment in Chicago happens. And from that point on, he becomes the Swami Vivekananda that the world knows today, a spiritual guide for millions. All right, so how did that journey actually shape his teachings? And maybe more importantly, why do these ideas, which are more than a century old, still feel so fresh, so relevant right now? Well, lucky for us, the book review really gets into that. First up, it really came down to who he was as a person. The review points out this absolutely fearless personality. I mean, this was a man who was not afraid to challenge the status quo. And you combine that with a razor-sharp intellect and, this is key, a really deep, genuine compassion for humanity. And something else that really stands out, he had this incredible, unwavering faith in young people. He didn't see them as, a problem to be managed. He saw the youth as the engine for progress, for renewal. He truly believed that if you could channel that youthful energy in the right way, it could literally change the world. And this leads to a really crucial point. For Vivekananda, everything, and I mean everything, started with self-confidence. His teaching was simple. Before you believe in anything else, you have got to believe in yourself. That inner strength, that self-belief, that's the foundation for anything and everything great you want to achieve. Okay, so you've got this inner strength. Now what? Well, for him, the answer was clear. You serve. He was a huge champion of the idea that serving other people, especially those who are struggling, was the highest form of worship you could possibly do. It's all about putting that compassion into real, tangible action. What really made his message so revolutionary, especially for his time, was this unique blend he created. Think about it. This was an era where science and religion were often seen as total opposites, right? But he didn't see a conflict at all. He argued that ancient spiritual wisdom wasn't just blind faith. It could actually stand up to the scrutiny of modern rational thinking. This created a philosophy that spoke to both the logical mind and the searching soul. Now, here's something the reviewer says makes this biography so incredibly powerful. It doesn't just paint him as some kind of saint, way up on a pedestal. Instead, it shows us the human side of his journey, the real person. And this quote from the review just nails it. The book shows him as someone who had to overcome his own doubts, his own hardships. And that's the key, isn't it? His strength wasn't that he was some perfect being without struggles. His strength came from overcoming those very human struggles through sheer determination and faith. And honestly, that makes his story so much more relatable and inspiring. So what's the final word on the book itself? I mean, a good review always gives you the pros and the cons, and this one is no different. Let's break down what the reviewer thought. All right, on the plus side, the book gets major points for its inspiring language and deep dives into his philosophy. It's the kind of thing that really motivates you. But on the flip side, the reviewer does mention that the language can be a little heavy, especially if you're new to the topic, and they suggest that maybe some quick summaries would have helped younger readers. So, bottom line, it's a fantastic read, just maybe not a super light one.
But even with those small critiques, the final conclusion is crystal clear. The reviewer calls this biography an absolute must-read for students, for young people, but honestly, for anyone, anywhere who's searching for some real, meaningful inspiration in their life.
And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway from this whole book. Swami Vivekananda's life challenges us to redefine success. It's not about the money you make or how famous you are, not at all. True success, according to his message, is all about the strength of your character, how you serve other people, and your own journey of spiritual growth. So, I'm going to leave you with that question to chew on because it really gets to the heart of the book's message. After all this, after hearing about a life built on inner strength in service to others, what does a successful life really mean to you? Something to think about.